All right, boys and girls, this is the sculpture by Robert Indiana in New York City. And just thought you'd enjoy seeing that. It would be really wonderful to walk around. There are also designs in different languages. This one is in Italian. It's in a plaza in Milan. This is the original Christmas card design. He was an American artist and it was crafted in the 1970s, actually in 1970s. And its design can be traced back actually 6 years earlier when the Modern Museum of Art in New York City commissioned him to make a Christmas card. And this is the design with the O tilted to the right. We are going to be focusing on using a word that has 4 letters that actually gives us a positive feeling for the future, a wonderful message. You could use love, kind, nice, wish, hope, flow, save, seek, life, give, feed, maybe help or fair. Boys and girls, you decide. So I want you to really think about what message you want to design today in this pop art lettering lesson. And I only ask that it's 4 letters. You can tilt one of the letters, just like Robert Indiana did in his design. I'm going to be starting one myself. I'm not tilting a letter, but I think I will try one in the near future where I have one of the letters kind of off kilter, which gives it a nice, a little different of a feeling. Boys and girls, you don't have to use one of these words. These are just ideas that can kind of give you a start. All right, boys and girls, we are going to start by creating a square from a rectangle in a piece of paper. So please fold the bottom up to the top of the paper. Make sure your edges are even. Press the paper down. And all you need to do is take a scissors and carefully cut the edge off. If you need to draw it with a pencil first, that's fine. Now we've changed the paper into a perfect square. Once you have a perfect square, you're going to bring the bottom and the top together. Make sure your edges meet before you press your fold. And then we're going to make another fold from the other direction. So we've created 4 small squares inside of one larger square. And within each of these sections, we're going to draw out a letter from our word of choice for today's lesson. I'm just going to take a straight edge. This isn't quite a ruler, and redraw my lines so I can clearly see I have 4 smaller squares inside of a larger square. And I'm just going to ignore that diagonal fold. So boys and girls, once you have your 4 sections, you're going to plan your first letter. I've decided that my message will be the word kind. And I'm just going to carefully draw the top of the K, so that would be a line down and a line over, and I'm trying to make the letters thick so I have a space to color in and add design. Now I'm bringing my letter right to the edge of that one first square. I really don't like this being so crooked, so I'm just going to fix my line and erase my mistakes. Remember, it's important to draw lightly so you can correct any mistakes you might have. So basically a K, is 3 lines. And I'm not drawing them in line, I'm drawing them in shape. So I need a rectangle on the left and 2 diagonal rectangular shapes on the right hand side, one on the top and one on the bottom. All right, now that I've finished the K, I'm going to move to the I. The top of the I is a line over, so I'm going to make it into a block, or rather a rectangle, from one side to the other. That's the top of the I. Now I think I've flipped the paper over to get the bottom of the I, which is another rectangle. If we're thinking of block shapes, the center is going to be kind of a thicker rectangle. Try to straighten my edge here. And I'm just going to use the other side. And there I have a pretty sizable capital letter I. So my next letter is going to be an N because I'm doing the design entitled Kind. So I need a line on the left, which is going to be a rectangle, a diagonal in the middle, and another thick rectangle on the other side for the other half of the N. So I've got it going up. There's a lot of erasing in this assignment, and now I want to match this angle coming down to make the N. Boys and girls, if you want one of the letters crooked, feel free. Just like in the sculpture, the O is crooked and off to the right a little bit, which is kind of fun. You're welcome to make one of your letters kind of flop to the side. In my design, I'm going to keep all my letters straight. My last letter is D, so I'm going to make the line, or rather rectangle, and now I have to curve over for a capital D. It'll be a lot easier working in capital letters for this design. And remember, you're making that line into a thick shape. So I'm creating the outside of the D and the inside of the D for a block letter. K-I-N-D, kind. Now if you have a black marker or the black Sharpie I gave you, you can start outlining. Make sure you go nice and slow so that your lines look crisp. Within this design, we are going to choose warm or cool colors. I've decided to make my design in cool colors. The blues, the deep purples, the darker greens, the purples that are kind of moving closer to red, so like a burgundy violet color. I'm going to keep my design in the cool colors. So boys and girls, you're going to decide, is your design going to be warm colors, those hot colors, on one half of the color wheel, the yellows, oranges, reds, and really light limey green is actually considered a warmer color. I think once I set up these letters, I'll be ready to add my color. So K, I, N, and D. This actually may take 2 class periods because it took me quite a long time to draw this out. And I'm trying to be very careful with my lines because it's such a graphic design. And here we go, K-I-N-D. I may make one with a really hopeful message like love, give, or hope. I thought nice would be kind of fun to do. Wish. I'm sure you have some more ideas on 4 letters in a word that is hopeful for the future. Here are our warm and cool colors. You're going to make a choice before you start adding color and set those colors off to the side. And of course, here are your yellows, oranges, reds, and a violet. So I set aside the cooler colors of purples, blues, and greens, going with the darker greens, and I placed them on my desktop, and I'm going to start adding color within the design. Enjoy yourself, boys and girls.